I'm the flyest motherfucker at the kickback. Not a competition, little boy with a wrist that. Meet me in the bathroom, I don't want to chit chat. She ain't not a boyfriend, heard he got a
Okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
Whoa.
I know.
That's
It's so cool.
Crazy. Okay, hello. Is this better? I don't know.
It's better. Hello.
Hello. Is it better if I talk this?
It's so you see like a little squiggly mark in front of the microphone, little gray one?
on here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Speaking to that, that's where the front of the microphone's at.
Hello.
So you can adjust however you want. Be comfortable.
Okay.
Be comfortable. You can put your stuff to the side. Anything you want. Go for it.
This is how I
Kickback.
sound.
This is my voice. Remember that? From Emperor's New Groove?
Emperor's.
The Emperor's New Groove? Like the llama movie? Disney? Y'all have some homework to do.
Okay.
But yeah, you need to go watch that movie. But you'll get the joke.
Yeah.
This is my voice? This is my voice? You'll get it later.
Are you recording?
Mm-hmm. Now that you're hearing yourself, you can we're actually recording.
Is this in the podcast right now?
It can be.
Okay. Hi.
Welcome back to the Kickback Podcast, everybody. My name is Joan. I'm here with another guest, my friend since 7th grade, Shauna Kim, who has asked me to be on this podcast before, but we just never made it happen.
That's true.
So you're finally here.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. It's been a while since I last seen you.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I saw you was at Ryan's house.
Mm-hmm. Our
And-
friend from also middle school.
I think, yeah, we need to have him on the podcast again.
Yeah.
Because I don't talk to anybody anymore. This is like the only time I talk to people.
Mm.
What have you been up to?
Just working at Forever 21 corporate. Uh-huh.
Mm.
I'm a buying intern right now.
A what?
Buying intern.
Meaning?
I basically select the clothes for the season.
Oh, so like what's going to come out on the floor or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's for like the entire, just what, Southern California or as a whole?
Everywhere.
Because I remember when I worked at American Eagle, there was like the manager and the district manager and then the corporate manager. And then, so you're like at the very, very top already.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to own Forever 21 one day?
No.
What about your own company? Because you're very fashionable. I have seen your fashion over the years. Yeah, I could say you're very fashionable. You got the fits.
I like to try, but I think. Can I take this off, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
weird.
just so like now you can know where your voice is at.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll have people come on the. Sometimes I'll have people come on the podcast and they think they're fine because they heard themselves, but then afterwards they're like, "Oh, I should have spoken up a little bit louder."
Okay.
But now you know where to have your voice.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little hard to talk with the headphones on because
Yeah.
we're not used to
It
it.
sounds good though.
Yeah, it sounds very crispy. I like it.
Okay, so I'm really content with where I am right now. So like I don't, if it leads me there, it leads me there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good right now. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to?
Well, 9 to 5 is not for the week. That's
Mhm.
number one. And then number two, like I would like to work in like designer.
Mm-hmm. Like designing your own clothes?
No, like Chanel,
Okay.
or maybe I'd be open to Chanel. I'd be open to Saint Laurent.
Mm-hmm.
Companies like that.
So designing their clothes.
I can't design. I'm so bad at designing.
So what do you mean by designer?
Like merchandising.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's kind of hard to explain the jobs and the responsibilities,
Uh-huh.
but just everything that comes along the process that doesn't include designing.
That doesn't include designing.
Uh-huh.
But you want to be a designer.
No.
I thought you said you wanted to be a designer.
No. I just want to work somewhere. Okay, honestly, I have no idea what I do in life. I just know that like I want to be happy in the fashion industry.
Okay.
That's my goal.
So you want to be happy and fashionable.
Yes.
Yes. Sass. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about what about without work? Like if you didn't have to work or have like a certain set job, like what would be something that you wanted to do outside of the whole work field? Just within you.
That's a really good question. I don't know. I never really thought about other jobs. Like I know after a few years of experience in the fashion industry, I might consider going back to grad school. to get my master's to teach as a professor
Mm.
about the fashion industry.
So you're always
Yeah.
going to be somewhat related to the fashion industry.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just a part of you now.
Yeah, it really is.
What about makeup? Would you ever get into the makeup field?
I tried in high school. Girl, my eyebrows used to be like this thick. I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember high school that much at all.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
It's been such a long time already, dude. Like, it's hard to
Yeah.
think about that. It's like, what, almost 5 years since high school?
It feels so far away now, but I swear we graduated just yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went like this.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like the whole COVID thing. They did take away 2
Yeah,
years. So that's why it's like,
did.
now we're actually starting another
Yeah.
year since high school.
At least we got our prom though.
Yeah. Prom was okay for me. Like, it was chill.
Yeah, it really was.
But it wasn't like anything crazy.
Mm,
But it was fun. I had fun.
it was fun.
I
for
drove
me
a horse.
too. Oh yeah, the little carriage. I remember that.
Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like telling me how to steer it, and it's with the thing in his mouth. I didn't know how that's how a horse
Oh,
worked, but he allowed me to do it after I just asked.
You just reminded me. I did get broken up with the day before prom.
How?
I don't want
That-
to talk about it.
Yeah, let's not
I
get
have
into
a great
that.
boyfriend right now. He's right here.
Yeah, bro, I met you twice, and you're freaking cool. Yeah, her boyfriend's behind the scenes. This is the first time we've had someone behind the scenes while we're recording a podcast, I think.
Oh, first
Like,
for everything.
Because I've had group ones, and there's like sometimes like someone just sitting to the side or someone else just watching, but this is a one-on-one with somebody here, so it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
We have a little audience.
Yeah,
So we know
small
one person's listening to us.
Yeah. But over the past like 4 years, what have you been learning? You were still doing color guard even after high school, huh? How has color guard taught you?
Wow, it's honestly a deep question for me because, I mean, you know,
Because you were really good at it.
I think.
I remember you posting your videos and you were actively always practicing it.
Yeah, I did. I practiced so much. I don't practice that much anymore. Like, I rarely practice.
Mhm.
I did do color guard until like I was 21, which was last year, and then I quit. I think I just outgrew it. Like, it doesn't bring me as much joy as it used to be. I was also a different person 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I think we've all changed. So it's kind of cool talking to you now.
yeah.
It's like, I know who Shauna was back then, but I want to know who Shauna is now.
Yeah. It's crazy that you call me Shauna. I mean, you met me as Shauna,
Yeah.
but everyone calls me Shay now.
You
But
tried to tell me to call you Shay, but it was just always Shauna.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it though.
But I would, you know how I sometimes do call you Shay. Shay
Yeah.
Bay.
I hate you.
Or Shauna with the frick. I always called
Okay.
you that for a while.
That was a phase we did not talk about.
I think it has to be mentioned.
Yeah.
And it has.
I had an Instagram handle and it was Shauna with the freak because I wanted to be unique and original. Yeah.
I think it was cool
Yeah.
for the time being. 7th and 8th grade.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. But color guard. You did it
Mhm.
for quite a while. Would you ever go back to it?
Okay, let's see how many years I did. I did all 4 years of high school.
You did all 4 years of high school in color
I
guard?
did, yeah.
I thought you joined like 2 years in.
I think
No.
that was Mancy.
Uh,
Yeah, she did that. I remember.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm thinking of it as the IB stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
'cause
dropped out of IB after
What year
sophomore
did you drop out of IB?
Sophomore year.
So I think everyone did.
Yeah, dude.
I did
cannot
too.
handle it. Yeah.
I think it was like, did you have WAP or Euro? WAP?
I didn't even do that.
You didn't have world history?
Mm-mm.
European history?
Mm-mm.
What did you have instead?
You know, I did do world history, but then I dropped out of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, world history was the deal breaker for me. I was like,
Yeah.
there's going to be more classes exactly like this one.
Did you have the bald teacher? I forgot his name.
No, I
He
didn't.
was bald though.
No,
Do
I
you know what I'm talking
I
about?
forgot her name. I'm forgetting her name, but she was really cool.
Oh.
But yeah, because he was I didn't have him. I think he was the Euro teacher, the European history teacher.
I don't remember.
But I
honestly.
don't miss something Z. It starts with a Z.
That sounds right.
Zakarian,
Oh, that sounds right.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like slowly putting things together.
Yeah,
It's
that
been such a
sounds
long
right.
time.
Yeah. If any alumni is watching this, let us know.
Yeah, I want to have some of the teachers on here one day.
That'd be
Like,
so cool.
I want to talk to Mr. Reed on here, and I want to talk to Mr. Huff on here.
What about? Do you know Mr. Lang?
Mr. Lang, I've never talked to Mr. Lang before. What if I have Mr. Jones on here? That would be very interesting.
That'd be so fun. Yeah,
right?
that'd be so fun.
Have all of our
Love
teachers
him.
learn something from them.
Dang, I haven't heard about Mr. Jones in a while.
Yeah, Mr. Jones is cool.
Yeah.
Did
I
you have Mr.
remember-
Jones?
I did. I remember going through such a hard time, and then like, I swear he didn't like me the first semester, but the second semester he really grew to like me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this teacher's great. Okay, but for color guard, I did all 4 years of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and then I did a couple seasons outside of it. I would say I did it in 2019. I didn't do it for COVID years, and then I did 2021 and then 2022. So that's like 7 years of color guard.
Shit.
Yeah.
7 years of color guard.
Yeah.
And what have you learned from color guard? What is something that, or like if I were to ask you, like one trait, I've asked this question before, but in different aspects. So I want to see how you would say it.
Okay.
What's one trait that you think you learned or took away from your many years of color guard?
That's so hard because like I was such a different person then.
Mm-hmm.
Like back then I would be so like I think one trait would just be like working hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to work hard to get with what you want.
Yeah.
But then
I mean, to do that
me-
for 7 years, it's like you have to always be
Oh,
pushing
yeah,
forward
definitely.
to just be that consistent of doing it
Yeah.
for 7 years.
But me now, I think it's more about enjoying the moment
Uh-huh.
and enjoying the people around you.
Okay, so you're more focused on the present now.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What have you been enjoying so far?
Working out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've actually started working.
I saw that TikTok you put about posting you ran 2
2
miles.
miles?
Dude, I can't do 2 miles right now. I don't think I'd be like out of breath by the first probably.
I mean, it wasn't a good run though. Like it was 9 minutes average, I think.
Do you
around
enjoy
that
running?
time. I enjoy the nature.
Okay,
Yeah, but I don't really enjoy running.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
because I enjoy my walks. Like I love going on walks. I can walk
Same.
forever.
Yeah.
But running is like, oh, now I'm working for something that I want to enjoy.
yeah.
You know, instead of
Yeah.
simply enjoying it.
Yeah. I also like cooking.
Love cooking.
Love cooking.
What do you like to
Love
cook?
it.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
What's my favorite dish?
I like cooking steaks. Steaks all day.
You should teach me.
I'll teach you.
Yeah. I don't know how
definitely
to
could teach you.
really.
I'll make a YouTube video out of it. How I cook my steak, because Shauna
Yeah.
told me.
Dude,
Dot, dot, dot.
I would totally watch it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the title for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go buy
I'll
a
look
steak
for
later.
it.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Because Shauna told me. I'll even put that like in the thumbnail on the bottom because Shauna told me.
So down. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Um.
Hopefully, don't fuck up the steak. Now I got pressure on me.
No. You could probably do a much better job than me.
I'll Photoshop it to make it look nice.
Okay.
Just in case it does come out bad, it's like this is my steak and it's like Gordon Ramsay steak instead. I wonder if his steak's actually good. But what do you like to cook?
I like spaghetti squash.
Oh, the green ones?
Huh? No.
Spaghetti
It's
squash.
yellow. Yeah.
What? I thought it was.
So
Oh, I'm
it's
thinking of
like-
zucchini squash
Oh,
or
yeah.
zucchini spaghetti.
I think my boyfriend said he likes that. But you basically just get squash, you cut it in half, bake that, and then it like you can like literally take it with a fork and then
Like a potato?
yeah,
it.
like that, and then it comes out like spaghetti noodles. You put in your regular favorite spaghetti sauce.
But you don't have to like roll it into a spaghetti noodle
Mm-mm.
or like put it through something to make it to spaghetti.
Mm-mm. Just get a fork and you just start stringing it.
How?
It's so
what
good.
the heck?
When you bake it, it gets really soft.
Oh, so you're just like cutting it.
Yeah, you know, like chicken breast, how you can like shred it with a fork.
Uh-huh.
It's like that.
Oh, I'm thinking about it like potato because when you do it, you like mash it.
Oh yeah,
Different
no.
consistency.
No, but spaghetti squash, it literally comes out to, yeah, because like I love spaghetti, but carbs are like one of my biggest weaknesses right now. So
Nah, carbs are good.
no, it is. It really
Like you
is.
should see me at night. I devour a big ass bowl of cereal like almost every night to the top.
I eat too many though.
Yeah,
Yeah, like way too many. But carbs are good for you though. Don't
carbs
get
are
me
very
wrong.
good for you. Just
Yeah.
eat good carbs.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
So you've been prioritizing more fitness, more health stuff.
Yeah, taking care of my body.
What you been up to? What kind of fitness activities are you up to besides running and cooking?
I did a little bit of lifting.
Mm-hmm.
My right bicep, you guys, so strong. My left one, she's a little potato.
Nah, she'll come out. She'll come out.
Yeah, she'll come out.
She'll be ready.
And I mean that's pretty much it.
Would you ever consider yourself an athlete?
No.
No, never once. Even throughout all your years of color guard.
Oh, okay. For that, I would say so. Like doing color guard, it makes me lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so
how
much weight.
active is the sport? Because I know you guys are tossing that up, but like what is there that people don't take into consideration?
Okay. Well, I know my friend for high school, one of her science projects is like marching band considered a sport?
Oh, that was one of the questions that was always going
Yeah.
around. I remember.
Yeah, and a lot of people say no. I don't like to think of it as like that. I just think that color guard is definitely a beautiful art. But then like apparently like people have the same heart rate as a football player would. Yeah.
In marching band?
Yeah, like if they're actively marching, it's the same heart rate as a football player does.
Really?
Yeah, and we do like a 13-minute show too, and it's just constantly.
And they're
keep
always
going.
carrying that heavy equipment with them too.
Yes.
I get you.
And then I would say high school it's not as like intense, but
Mhm.
then when you start doing like independent organizations, which is like just groups that do it for fun, basically.
Mhm. And what kind of
It's
people
really
were they,
intense.
do you know what kind of people they were testing like in marching band? Was it like
I don't know.
high school marching band or like Super Bowl performers marching band?
I have no idea.
Because there's levels to that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. But it makes me lose a lot of weight. Like I went on tour for like 2.5 months, and I think I went from like 130 to like 120 in 2.5 months. Because you're just out in the sun every single day.
You're just sweating, yeah, and you have all the
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah, my body has never looked so good, and I miss it. But I'm taking care of myself right now, so it's all good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You've been enjoying working out. That's good. I've started again, like off and on, but it's
Yeah,
always
I remember you worked out a lot.
balancing. Like balancing something.
Mm.
I think that's the hardest part. So how do you
It
balance
is.
everything in life?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't.
It's hard. It's so hard.
No, because sometimes that's the answer. Sometimes you don't balance
Yeah,
anything.
You just live life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I own my own apartment, and I work 9 to 5, and 9 to 5 is not for the weak, and
No, and working a
really
9 to 5 job and then still doing something
that you want to do.
that you want to do is so hard.
Yeah.
Like I can agree with that. I quit my 9 to 5 job because it was like it's
Yeah.
so draining.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
my brain is actively like this, so while
Yeah.
I'm there just stationary,
Yeah.
you just come home. It's like my brain's fried.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel that.
Mhm.
That's like what I'm literally going through right now. But that's why like I try my best to make an effort to work on my body, take care of myself, and even my mental health too.
Your temple.
Yes.
Yeah.
So important.
It's crazy that you say that because like I've been I wouldn't say I'm like a super religious person. Still, but I do believe in God. And I do believe that there's somebody taking care of me in that way. Like I don't know, it's weird because it feels like someone's talking to me sometimes. So it's like right now there's times where I'm like I should be working. I need to go get this. There's things that need to get paid off. Like
Yeah.
this whole world, the way it works, you need to be constantly like this, working on something. But you never really take time to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So at the same time, when I should be working and that thought comes across my mind, it's also like a sense of like, nah, dude, just take care of yourself right now. So I get what you mean. That it's you're just living your life and taking care of yourself, focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on myself right now.
Yeah. Me too. Slay.
Slay. But what else have you been doing besides like when you take care of yourself? How far does that expand? What are some things you like doing?
I mean, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we did, honestly.
Yeah.
Just wanted to dig as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, other than like cooking and self-care things,
Yeah.
like it's also really important for me
Like
to
meditation. Do you meditate?
have,
Yoga.
more like prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, I spend time with Jesus,
hmm
learn to know who he is.
What is the best way that you connect to Jesus? Would it be praying?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like intentional prayer. You know, you can't just like decide to pray. I mean, you can sometimes, but when I kind of just like pray randomly and like not really think too much about it, like I don't really feel God's presence then. So intentional prayer looks like, you know, closing the door behind me.
You're Christian, right?
I am Christian, yes.
Yeah. See, like the first thing you asked me when you came was, "Are you Christian or Catholic?"
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, and that's because I haven't like dabbled into like the certain religion. It's just more of like I've been experiencing life and it's been showing me things that could fit into these religious categories.
Yeah.
What was you said you were gonna ask me about it, but I want to ask you first. What
Okay.
was like the way that you found your religion?
Oh, that's such a it's a loaded question. Are you ready for this?
Mhm.
Okay, it's a long one.
There's a plane.
Well, I grew up in a Christian household.
Was it like a
So-
strong, strict?
Yes. My mom was really involved with the church, and my dad kind of was too. But I would say like mainly my mom and even my sister, like they're really heavily involved. And it took me a really long time to figure out who Jesus was and
Mhm.
like if I wanted Jesus in my life. And it was a battle between like I don't know. It was just like on and off with me coming to Christ.
What do you think made you battle so much?
Mm.
Like, what was it exactly that made you just come back and forth?
I had my doubts. Like there would be like stuff that happened to me and I'd be like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
Like if God is really there, then
Like,
why does he allow this to happen?
this dude's
to
not
me?
caring about me right now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you.
But then it took me a really long time. Like it's not just God that's out there, you guys. There's also like enemies like
Evil.
yes,
Yeah.
that also try to attack you too.
Yeah. It's so scary when evil
think
actually
about
presents
it.
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. But I like randomly went to this conference back in like 2019. So this was before COVID happened.
Okay.
And
That was like straight out of high school.
yeah, it was actually. But I remember going to this
Mhm.
conference and it just hit me. Like he really wrecked me. Like I cried so hard. I think I was like the lowest point in my life because like I just wanted to party so much. I had no friends. Like everybody ghosted me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
You wanted to
really
live your
wrecked me.
life.
Yes, the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
But every time I wanted to live the way that I want to, it never came out the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I just like gave my life to Christ. I was like, I'm gonna do this for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like that saying, it's like, I'll give you what you need, but not what you want.
Yes.
It was exactly like that. Because I see that too. People are so focused on living their life, but at the same time, they say that with a sense of entitlement, where it's like, I can do whatever I want with my life.
Yeah.
So who are you to tell me no?
Yeah, I feel like this world is now like full of like a lot of people preach about like yourself, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know where I was going.
And
with
it's
that.
the same people who tell you those things that say like the world doesn't revolve around you. And it's like, well, the world doesn't revolve around you either. That's the thing. So I think they get a little confused when it comes to just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I came to Christ, like even then, like I was like, it was still like such an on and off relationship.
Like an obligation almost.
Yeah, it actually did feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember like I kept meeting new people, and then the next thing you know, like they weren't my friends anymore, and so like just things kept happening to me.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and like that was such a hard time in my life too. I was like involved with too many things, and it was really straining on my mental health too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I do remember though. I lost my train of thought.
You do remember? We were talking about God. We were talking about COVID.
Yeah.
Your mental health. How God came into your presence.
Oh, so COVID. When COVID happened, it was 2020, and I went to Korea to visit my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
She had, I'm pretty sure it was pancreatic cancer, but she had cancer for sure. And my sister, my mom, and I went to Korea. Before we went, though, my mom and my dad both had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to quarantine 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then we
While
went-
in Korea?
No.
Oh.
In Corona.
Okay.
Or where we live. And then we also went to Korea and quarantined there too, because it's just a rule.
Yeah,
by
you have
their
to
government.
stay in.
Yeah, before you start traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fine because, like, we knew about it.
Safety.
Yeah. But then when we were about to leave, my mom got a false positive. Yeah, and so we had to stay another 2 weeks.
Wow.
But then it was a false positive, so we were just kind of there.
So how did you get out of it? Like, did you stay there the full 2 weeks again?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so weird because my mom left early since they knew it was a false positive, but we still had to stay there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the confusing part.
Yeah,
I was like,
'cause-
how does that make sense?
Well, they transferred her to a hotel room,
Okay.
and me and my sister stayed with my grandma's house.
Yeah.
So it's just me and my sister, my grandma, and my grandpa in one household.
Mhm.
And we couldn't get out. They it's like so strict over there because they can track your phones
Mhm.
and like see if you get out and whatnot. And you can get a lot of trouble for that. But
Yeah,
we
for
didn't
sure.
do any of that. And I was taking classes at that time too. So from like 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. I was up
Mhm.
doing my classes while also
The U.S. classes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to kind of do the math for the time zone.
Yes.
Wow.
Like 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. is in U.S. time. I think it's like around, I want to say 8 a.m. to like,
So you were
3
nocturnal
p.m.
for like a good amount.
yes.
time.
Like I was getting 4 hours of sleep.
What the fuck?
No,
How
it's
do you do
crazy.
that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of coffee, and I'm not much of a coffee drinker.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
I
enjoying
mean,
coffee.
I'm starting to get into it now. So.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's very like people get scared of it because it's like a rush, but
Yeah.
I feel it more as a calming thing,
Oh yeah.
more relaxing
Definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
The irony in coffee.
Do you like matcha?
I don't. There's some drinks that I like, and there's some drinks that I don't. It's like sometimes it's too powdery.
Oh, I feel that.
You know how Ariel's like, no, you have to get it from here because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
I think I've tried that one. Is that the one from by the right there in the crossroads?
Yeah. Canva coffee.
Canva.
So
There we
good,
go.
guys.
I've been there once.
Okay, but for my story, my
Mhm.
grandma, so we quarantined, and it was fine. Like it just gave me more time to spend with her,
Mm-hmm.
but that was our third time quarantining, you guys. So like my mental health was down the drains, and like quarantining is not for the week after you do it for a while, and I'm sure everyone that's watching this can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Like I haven't thought about it as much, but asking you about quarantine and COVID and how it affected you, like we talk about it as people, but not really as often because it's one of those
Mhm.
things that's like hush hush, like don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own
Yeah.
opinion, perspective, but it's like, well, your opinion matters, you know?
Yeah.
It does matter. I want to see how you processed all
Yeah.
that. It was like a historical moment in our lives that we're not
Mhm.
supposed to talk about. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So how did COVID affect you? You said it was straining on your mental health.
Yeah, with my grandma though, like she had so she speaks Korean, so she
Uh-huh.
can't really understand English. She needs her earpiece to also hear. And she never really talks to anyone, and she's always just laying in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was taking my classes, like that was number one, like that was affecting my mental health a lot because I
Yeah.
was literally up every single hour
Mhm.
and getting like 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So you were sleep
And-
deprived.
Yeah. And so that was already number one,
Yeah.
affecting my mental health.
It's a big one.
Yes. And then number two, how I told you about how my relationship with Jesus was just on and off. And then
Your faith wasn't like secure, solidified.
yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It really wasn't. And then at the time too, that was also when I was figuring things out, transferring to my university I transferred to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I decided I wanted to go to CSULB. And then when that was happening, something about like my transcripts were not sending in, and I missed a deadline for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my goodness, like I need to get this figured out. Like I was freaking out, and I started getting like panic attacks. And I remember like just freaking out in my grandma's house, and I was like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I worked so hard to finally transfer, and then I now miss the deadline.
what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you doing this?
Exactly, yeah. And then one of my friends, my good friends, Naomi, she called me, and she's like, I will always remember that. She called me. She's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I love you. I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, how did you know, like, I needed to hear those words? And she's
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I just wanted to check up on you. but even then it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I still felt really anxious,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
so upset. And in
Because like, what can
Korea,
you do? What am I supposed to do?
yes,
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah, and I remember in Korea, like, so they have like Postmates and like an Uber Eats there too, except they don't charge delivery fees. So like you can just order food at the amount that like if you go in person, if that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember telling my sister, I was like, listen, I'm freaking out. I need fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I like specifically wanted fruit. I was like, can you get me fruit? I want strawberries, and I think I said bananas too. I don't remember though.
Strawberry banana combo, solid.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
just needed fruit though.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know what I want. I know what I need. It's fruit. It was so weird, and I'm never really like that either.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let me look at the app, see if I can order. And they had like shaved ice with fruit, you know, with like condensed milk and stuff, and like sweet treats with fruit. But I was like, no. I was like, I just need fruit. Yes. And then like while I'm having like my anxiety attack and like I'm like freaking out and like crying and sobbing all over the place, my grandma starts talking. It was so weird. Like I'm just like freaking out over here, and then you just hear like this voice talking on like another room, and she never really talks. So we were just like, who is she talking to? So we just like peek in her room, and she's like having a little flip phone and she's like talking to somebody. And mind you, she can't hear me at all, and she doesn't understand English. She also needs her earpiece, and her earpiece was on the side of her bed.
Yeah, her side table.
Yes. And then I remember like my sister's just like in shock.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I can't understand Korean either sometimes. So I was like, what is she talking about? She just like looks at me. She's like, she just asked our aunt for fruit. I was like, what? And I was like, why? And she's like, I don't know. And she never asked anyone for anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. And like she doesn't talk to anybody. She asked and she didn't hear me. She can't understand me, number one.
So it was almost unbelievable. Like, what? How is this happening? How is this happening? What's going on?
It was like a minute later too. It was just so weird. And then we came with the fruit. I didn't get like a little bowl of fruit. I got like a basket of fruit. Yeah.
You said, you want fruit? Here you go.
Yeah. And it was like a whole thing of strawberries too.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there's bananas there, but I know for sure there was a huge thing of strawberries. It was so weird. And I just remember that day I was like, you guys, like, God is real. He's so real. He'll give you exactly what you need. Yeah. And
you said one thing.
Yeah.
While you were telling your story, you said like, how am I gonna figure this out?
Yeah.
You know? There's been a lot going on that I haven't really been talking about, but like it's been a lot, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that I had been saying over and over, like out loud and to my head and to my girlfriend, like, how do I figure this out? It's like I thought this and that and this and that so many ways, but I can't figure it out. And I asked to God the same thing, like, how do I figure this out? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And one thing, like after a while of like just asking myself that, it wasn't for me to figure it out.
That's good.
I think that was the answer to it. He's like, listen, I don't need you to figure anything out.
Yeah, that's so good.
Because you're telling yourself that this is a problem.
Yeah.
You know? So you have to figure it out. Just understand what this problem is, and I'll figure it out for you.
I'm crying. That's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
So when I hear you say it, it's like, listen, just focus on this. Just understand what's going on, and I'll figure it out for you.
Yeah.
And you'll know when I'm here.
No, that's exactly who God is.
Yeah. You're making me cry.
No, I'm literally crying because like I'm so happy for you, Joan, and like I'm so happy to like watch you grow up and see your journey too.
Yeah, and I like talking to, like, same thing. I see how much you've grown. You know, so it excites me. It's like you're doing so well. I love it.
Okay. Okay.
That's the first crying on the podcast.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean that's just one story out of so many. But I mean, like, how did you? Because you say you're not totally religious, but you still believe in God. So it's like, what? How did you get there?
It's just when I think of religion, I think of it sometimes as maybe like too man-made, where it's been kind of dampened down by some ideas and thoughts that try to make bad things okay.
Yeah.
So it's like not saying that the religion as a whole. I find a lot of beauty in religion,
Yeah.
and that's what I stick by.
Mm.
But the classification of a religion, I think, is what kind of sets it apart. So it's like one of those things, like I can even compare it to like the love languages thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that whole thing was made by one person that thought this and wrote it into a book. So people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna stick by that. My love language is touch. Oh, my love language is gift giving." So in these other love languages, it doesn't mean anything. So do you really love the person? It's like, no, I know how much my love for God is. So I don't need these like labels or different classifications to show my love for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not loving him from a Catholic or a Christian or a Muslim standpoint at all. I just love him, for whatever I believe in. And that's all good. I feel like my love for him is just pure,
Yeah.
As it can be. And it'll grow. And I think the more your connection with God grows, the more the connection with yourself grows. And I've come to that too, is that God is like right here,
It's true.
How do you see your God?
He's the anointed one. He's my father. He's the creator of this world. Like everything that I own, all my clothing, where I am, I owe it all to him. Like I truly don't think I'd be where I am right now if it wasn't for him. And like I've dealt with a lot of hurt in my past, but like especially recently, like I've been realizing he's taking all that hurt and being like, this is gone now.
Yeah.
Like,
So now that you look back at all the times that you had to go through, could you like, I don't know, you sit and understand it more and be like, well, he was there. I can see how he was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if you saw, but my car has like a huge crack on the window.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, yeah. It's a funny story. So my boyfriend was driving, and I had like, this is really dangerous, you guys. I know. I learned my lesson, but I had my feet on like the dashboard.
Shauna. Okay.
I know. And so he braked really hard, and my foot put pressure on the windshield, and it cracked. I was so angry. I was like lashing out on my boyfriend, and like I was even yelling at my parents, and like I had so much frustration and anger, and then like I was like, why is the enemy attacking me? And I was like, hold on, like why is God putting me through this situation? Because before that I also had so many problems with my car. I think before that I had my car towed 3 times. Yeah, somebody broke into my car or tried to and like ruined my lock. That ended up being like another $1,000.
Yeah.
And I had to pay. That wasn't even my fault. So I was like, why does stuff keep happening?
Why do I have to pay for someone else's?
Yeah. And I was like, why does God allow this to happen? And I think he, I don't really know if it was the enemy or God. I still think about it. But I now know, I think he showed me what my heart posture looks like. And that's what God does sometimes, you guys. Like sometimes he'll let things happen. And not because he wants to hurt you, but he wants to reveal you. He wants to reveal you to something that you didn't know was a thing. And at the time for me, it was that like I had an anger issue.
That was your enemy.
Yeah. And I was like, I really need to just solve this anger thing. And like, I think it was definitely a life learning lesson. And I would not have learned that if my windshield did not crack. Yeah.
So he was like, listen, you were about to break.
Yes.
But I stopped you this time.
Yes.
But you understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's that. It's understanding everything that happens within your life.
Yeah.
It's because you might not have the answer today. You might not have the answer like 2 years later down the line.
Yeah.
But what's the point if you come down to the answer, but you didn't understand any of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even with that, like how they broke into your car or damaged, he's one thing that I was thinking of is that he keeps sending the enemy your way. It's like, why are you attacking? Why are you sending these attacks to my kingdom? We're building, we're creating something. I'm doing good. Why are you attacking?
Yeah.
I was like, he's like, well, how strong is your kingdom? Like how fortified, and how strong is it? How will it do under pressure? How will it do when an enemy approaches? Or are you gonna crack? Are you gonna completely break?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So
you put on like an act in church versus like outside of church. Like, how do you respond to life then?
Mm-hmm.
It's really important. Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. Staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, you understand yourself more.
Yeah, I
You
really
know,
do.
what's good for you, what's bad for you, what to do differently, what to improve
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I'm just thinking about it a lot, and it's always just connection between you and God. It's just like you are God and God is you, and I can go over that all day. That's how I see God. So it's like if I'm doing good and I handle anything that comes my way well, and I stay true no matter no matter what, like my God will treat me well. I will treat myself well. Right now, my God is telling me treat yourself as well as possible. I'll figure out the rest. Right now, you told it in the beginning of the podcast, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's very different now.
Yeah, it really is.
Man, even like since like from when we were kids, what has growing up taught you? I don't know, because we were always just focused on having fun, like playing,
Yeah.
like the literal sense of playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
Me too.
I think just that society will tell you something different, and the
Mhm.
Bible will tell you completely different things differently too, like how to approach life differently.
Mhm.
I think that's what I was trying to tell you earlier, and I was like, what was I trying to say?
But you see that what is it? Differentiation. Big word. Wow.
yeah.
The differentiation between
What
God's
society
word
tells you.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
human's word.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say at the same
Yeah.
time when I say about religion.
Yes.
It's that. It's I don't know, humans have done a lot.
Yeah. Like society will tell you one thing, but the Bible will tell you differently.
Mhm.
And like that's the hard part about Christianity too, is like you have to do what God tells you,
Mhm.
and sometimes that includes making the hard choice of what society does not want you to do.
Mhm.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. I think literally God just spoke through me right now. That was so good, you guys. Oh,
I get what you
wow.
mean. Because
Yeah.
even how, like, we were talking about COVID for a little bit because of your
Yeah.
story. But one of those things, like, you're not supposed to speak on it because society tells you not to speak on it.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that we could talk about that we're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
And everyone's
true.
okay with it now. It's like you guys are seeing the whole irony behind this. You guys are free,
Yeah.
but you're limiting yourselves
Yeah.
because society, a new God that has entered, playing God.
What's a good example? I can't think of anything in my head right now.
What do you mean?
Like, what's a good example that society tells you to do, but in the Bible it's different?
I feel like it's coming more from a more egotistical, selfish standpoint, where it's like
Pride. Yeah, that's it. I literally was just reading about that in my book.
like
Can I open my book real quick?
go for it, go and get whatever you need.
I'm reading this with my friends right now. It's called "Why Do I Do What I Don't Want to Do?" It's so good, you guys.
Why do I discipline?
Yes. And God really just speaks through me to this. It's so good.
I wrote that. I posted a quick little reel today in the morning. It was just me doing push-ups, and it said you have to make your body struggle in order to like fortify your mind or something. Or wait, I'll pull it up right now. Actually, I'll just read it real quick. We treat the body rigorously so it will not be disobedient to the mind. So it comes with discipline. You have to be
Yeah.
disciplined and not let the evil things come and conquer your mind. Your kingdom.
Where'd it go? Oh. It says that pride leads to anxiety because we start thinking everything depends on us. We think we are either Superman or Wonder Woman, and if we do not live up to our end of the bargain, saving the world, then we are going to let ourselves, God, and the whole world down. But God never intended it to be that way. In 1 Peter 5, it says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." Like, you think you have to do it all right now. You need to graduate with a 4.0. You need to be married. You need the corner office, the perfect house in the best neighborhood, best schools. But what if you humbled yourself under the mighty hand of God so that in his timing that he may lift you up?
So it's more of like giving your pride to God.
Just like giving yourself to him, basically. I think that's
It's funny that you say that. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z?
No.
There's this character named Vegeta in there, and one thing that he goes off of a lot is his pride, his Saiyan pride. He's the prince of the Saiyan race, so he has a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
That he has to be the best, and that this low class Saiyan shouldn't be at my level. You know, so he always takes upon himself. He's more cruel, more selfish, more to himself because of his pride.
Yeah.
You know, but it's funny that in the moments where he just can't do it, it's like I had to put my pride to the side and just let him figure it out. You know, let my team figure it out, the people around me.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, that's a good reference.
Yeah, and for him, it's always love that conquers his pride. His wife, like I'm telling you, like if Vegeta was a person here, you would never expect that person to ever get married. Like this guy has a personality that's very hard to deal with. He's like, get out of my way, you know, like super prideful.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the people he loves, he doesn't even know what pride is.
That's good.
So I take that into this and like what we see in the world. We talk about how people have pride, right? And how they can do whatever they want because they're proud of it.
Yeah, like I feel like society, like especially like on TikTok, it's like always about finding the best version of yourself. But I feel like when you search too hard or a little bit too much, you kind of like get prideful in that. Because I don't know, I used to be in that position, and I used to always be like, no, things have to be done this way, things have to be done this way, and then it kind of lose insight on like what does pride actually mean. Because I think people, when they see pride, like they think it's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean it's even been noted as a good thing now. Like you have to support pride.
Yeah.
There's no no's, there's no maybes. You have to support pride. Like even the government, like you look at the main source of our society telling you like agree, conform to our pride, or it's like you need to chill. Like you need to be humbled up.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think about that sometimes because one thing that I've been saying on my Instagram a lot is like the whole thing of a king, right? Like I'm treating myself as the king the way God wanted me to, right? And I can see that. I see the pride in that. And I'm like, is this egotistical? Is this, can this hurt somebody? But I also think about it as the humble king, you know, the one that has to come up and do what's right, not for himself, but for everyone else. So I take that into consideration with everything that I do. It's like at the end of the day, I'm not really doing this podcast. I'm not really doing it for myself. It's grown a lot bigger than that. You know, I have people around me that I truly love, you know, that I want them to do good. So this is one of those things that will allow me to give to them, you know? So it and that goes with everything, with your fitness, you know? I have to be good to perform because if I can't perform for them, who's going to take care of them?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of pressure in that.
Yeah.
You know, I can, and especially like, I'm not even trying to go into the whole like man, woman thing, but as a guy, like you have to be like this because you will not make it.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see the pressure behind it. But if you stop thinking about it as pressure and simply doing it for something much bigger than you, Rick Rubin, I have a book upstairs by Rick Rubin, right?
Yeah.
And it's about creativity and art. And one thing that he says is that instead of doing it for yourself or doing it for somebody else, whatever art you're making, if you're making a song, if you're making a painting, society doesn't know what they want.
Yeah.
They won't know if they like it or not. But you will. So do it for God. So anything that you create, do it as if you're acting as a service for God.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, because you've already put your entire soul into it for Him.
Yeah.
You know, for something so much bigger than you or anybody else.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up happy with it. He's going to be happy with you.
Yeah.
And you've seen every single time that you're in a good balance with your faith, something good always happens from it.
Yeah. It's a hard pill to swallow too. It's not easy. It's so hard, but I mean, that's why having your faith in Jesus is so important. Because it's like you were saying, like, just give it all to Him and He'll take care of everything else.
You take it to, you just a pill, like the Matrix, right? The blue pill and the red pill. It's a very hard pill to swallow.
It is.
You're never going to see the world the same.
Yeah.
As much as you try and come back to conform, something in your head's going to be like, you know what you have to do. Get back on it.
The Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all connects, huh?
Yeah.
Life.
I wonder if that people who are watching this, like, it could be some random person and they might be going through the same things that we've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they'll only get it if they understand it, if they
Mhm.
choose to understand it.
Yeah.
Because some people will listen to it,
It
for
is
sure.
their choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really true. Like, God will give you the choice whether or not you want to follow him.
The ability is always there.
Yeah, like,
You
he'll
know?
never force the relationship.
Mhm.
He'll give you that free option for you to choose it.
He'll keep putting little things in your life.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
listen,
that's true.
there's
That's
li-
really true.
So when you say like, what's one point
Yeah.
that hit me? I haven't had that.
Yeah.
It's been more of like, oh shoot, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Even if it hasn't been like a huge thing, he's
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
working through
You
your
see it in
life.
little aspects.
Yes.
One thing that it's so weird.
Yeah.
My dad told me it yesterday. He's like, it's because now you're noticing. Like, you're noticing things more.
Mm.
Like, I recorded a video. You can watch it on YouTube. I just uploaded it, I think, yesterday.
Mhm.
And I was talking about that. I was talking about, it was basically me having a conversation with God, but explaining it to the camera as well.
Mhm.
And every single time that I said something, you know how you went like, whoa, I feel like God just spoke through me or something?
Mhm.
Every single time that I said something like that, that I felt
Mhm.
like God had told me,
Mm.
it's probably like something cheesy or something, but a plane would show up exactly right on time. Every single time that I said something,
No, that's a sign. I think that's a sign.
and I was like, I would have never noticed the plane,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
you know?
Mhm.
And then it came, again, the whole thing with the king.
Mm.
Have you been seeing monarch butterflies?
Actually, I haven't. Are they the orange ones?
The big orange ones.
That's so crazy. I actually did
you know?
last
And
week.
so I think about it. I'm like, is it just because there's a lot of monarch butterflies at the time?
Mm.
But that's a king butterfly.
Mm.
King. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's so crazy because sometimes I'll be talking to you, right? You're over here and I go like this and I look over there and I see it like all the way in the distance. Out of all the people around me, like I could be in a full room of people and nobody else notices it until I call it out.
Mm.
I'm like, oh, look, monarch butterfly. Every single time I see one, I always say monarch butterfly.
Jesus works in mysterious ways.
We were talking about Jesus, and one thing that I said was, there's the plane. I'm telling you, so it's those little things. He's like, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And every single time that plane flies by, it's like,
Yeah, he's so good, huh?
It's crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
how it works. It's almost unbelievable, I'm telling you. And people won't understand it unless they choose to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you like end up falling short or you like end up sinning or you just do something that God wouldn't like, he still loves you. That's
Mhm.
the craziest part. Like for me, for sure, like if like I don't know, if someone in my life messed up and treated me so wrongly, it'd be so hard for me to forgive.
Yeah.
But for Jesus, it's not even a doubt. He just loves you instantly again and again.
I've thought about that. It's like
Yeah.
forgiving people, right? There's always
Yeah.
that thing of forgive and forget,
Mm.
right? And society has made it believe as I forgive you and I'm gonna forget everything that you did. So now I'm gonna be your friend again,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's like I forgive you, but I'm gonna forget you for a little bit, but God will put you back in here if you really want to.
Mm-hmm.
But something's telling me that I can't be there for you right now, you know.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. You take God into every aspect of your life, and it makes a lot of sense.
That's true.
Yeah, you come to a huge understanding.
We've grown so much.
How do you think I've grown so much? Like, what do you see different in me?
Well, we used to party a lot.
I used to party a lot.
Yeah, I remember.
I used to party a lot. I'm talking
Yeah.
like every weekend.
Yeah.
And now you won't find me in a club. I
Yeah.
don't want to go to a
Me
club or a
either.
party.
Exactly. I'll
Yeah.
sip on a little mojito, but I'll never.
Yeah, and no,
actually,
not even
like-
that. Like, I'll take a little. That's it.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't like even alcohol. I don't know. I'll tell you a crazy story.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think, Ariel's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they wanted to go to a club, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I don't want to go to a club. I don't want to go. Asked my girlfriend, hey, can we go here? This and that. And she was down to go, but ended up not going because it was raining really, really bad. Like it was super rainy.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the club, and I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink.
Mm.
So God says, "Are you really? You're not? Okay, cool. You're not gonna drink. Everyone else is drinking, and there's a cup right there with your name on it. Are you gonna drink that too?" Well, everyone else is doing it.
Mm.
This is my first experience back with other people, you know, because I've
Yeah.
been here this entire time just to myself with my circle, you know.
Yeah.
I've come out of that little circle for a little bit. So it was my first test in a way, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to drink that. Everyone else is drinking it. I'm not going to get messed up, but I'm going to drink that. So I drink it. And it was tequila. They said it was going to be champagne, and it wasn't champagne, it was tequila.
What? Okay. Yeah.
They brought out a huge tequila bottle instead, right? And so I drink the tequila. I'm going to take like 2 or 3 shots or something. And let's go dance, let's go party. So we go, and it's a great time. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, something hit in me. Like I was having a great time, but something in me went. It literally felt exactly like that, and it was like, what am I doing here? So I went to go sit down, and I see it. Like it was very scary. It was a very scary time right there because I see the table with all the alcohol and the glass and everything all shiny, and it's supposed to look luxurious, but it's poison, right? So it's just there sitting in front of me, and I see all these red lights flashing. Everyone's, hey! And I'm looking. I'm like, you don't even know what you guys are doing, you know? So it was almost like a wake up check of, you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So it's not really that there's a problem here. You've already figured it out. I just needed you to understand.
That's also another hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. I did enjoy my time partying, you know?
Yeah.
I really did.
Going to Ragers.
Yeah.
You know, just having a
great time.
yeah.
But I think
Once you step out of that delusion, you know,
it's like
it's like a mirage.
living the life that God actually wants for you is so much better. It's
Yeah.
more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because
You-
when I go to like parties, I want more.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
What do you
never
mean?
satisfied. Yeah. Like I want to keep going back.
Oh my God, I want to go to the next party. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I want to feel this way.
Yeah, there was a time where I was going to parties every Friday, Saturday, and if there was a party on Sunday, we go on Sunday too. Every single weekend.
Yeah.
So when COVID happened, we stopped going.
Yeah.
Waited a little bit, but then parties started happening one by one. And it was those tests every single. Hey guys, maybe we shouldn't go. No, let's go. All right, we'll go. And we went anyways.
Yeah.
But sitting by yourself, like the literal essence of sitting by yourself in front of a mirror, even you have that conversation. You don't even have to say anything. You just sit and wait.
Yeah.
Patience. I think that's one of the biggest things he was teaching me. But not patience for the world. It wasn't patience for the world. It was patience for what I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the world won't wait for me. You know, there's a lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of good in the world, and we've been seeing a lot of beautiful things, right?
Yeah.
God has shown us a lot and presented us with a lot of beautiful gifts.
Yeah.
At least, you know, for me, like I've been noting it. So there's a lot of beautiful things. There's got to be a lot of evil for sure. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And we've seen the evil too. So I don't know. It gives me like, what do I do? It's like you gotta stay true to yourself. You gotta stay true to your God. That's it.
You have to like know how to differentiate the enemy's voice versus God's voice.
Yeah. Your ego versus your self-conscious. Creativity. That's what makes us God. You know. You said it. Your God created this world. You know, but ego kills creativity. There's a lot of ego ruling right now. You know.
The enemy does not like it if like you have a relationship with God. He wants to do everything he can to make sure you don't have that relationship with God. So there will definitely be some trials and error in your walk with Jesus, and know that it's okay as long as you know Jesus is your Lord and your Savior. Yeah.
That you can look up to him at any moment. Yeah. It's about understanding that it's gonna be hard. You know that it's hard.
Yeah.
But it's not just you. You're doing it with him, and he's very powerful. It's crazy the way it works. I would have never thought of myself talking like this about God, because I grew up. I wasn't Catholic. I wasn't fully Christian. My dad still to this day he says the same thing. Like I'm not fully Catholic because we've seen a lot of crazy stuff in the Catholic churches, especially like very recently. You know, so you saw that human nature. You know. Like kind of infiltrate God's kingdom, So I've been seeing that a lot more.
Mm.
And with my family, the way it went, I saw
Yeah.
how human nature came and infiltrated our kingdom, and how it can dismantle everything.
Yeah.
But slowly and slowly, you start putting the pieces together. You start believing in it a little bit more, and you're like, it's okay to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they telling me that it's not okay to believe this? What's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I wrong?
Mm.
Because you say something, and you're like, no, you're wrong. You shouldn't say that. Shut up. Oh, and a lot of people do shut up. There's this one painting. I come back to it a lot because I like analyzing paintings, especially like more. I wouldn't say like religious painting, but like with God and people and
Mm-hmm.
kind of those kind of imageries.
Yeah.
But there's this one called The Garden of Earthly Delights,
Mm-hmm.
right, by this guy named Euronymous Bosch,
Mm-hmm.
and he paints it. It's like a book. It's like a middle piece and then two flaps on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
On one side is the creation of humans.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Adam and Eve and God
Mhm.
bringing Eve to presenting him with love.
Yeah.
That's really what it should have been. Like, this
Mhm.
is your love. And then it goes to the middle piece. And you see a whole bunch of humans, man, woman,
Mm.
just all naked and like enjoying everything.
Mm.
It's almost hedonism,
Mm.
just living off of feeling good.
Mhm.
They're having
Earthly
sex,
desires.
earthly desires,
Yeah.
earthly desires.
Earth. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's they're sleeping with each other. When there's a girl
Mm.
that's just entranced in her own, like she's just stuck in a mirror looking at herself, never good enough.
Mm.
There's a man that's like this, that wants to
Mm.
say something. He's just seeing everything happen before him,
Yeah.
and he's just like this, like covering his mouth, but still having like a little peak in his eyes, because he's, because he knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's owls. Owls represent the devil, right? In his paintings, there's owls literally all over the place.
Mm.
If you look at the painting, I'll send you a link to it so you can watch it. You guys are gonna like it. It's a very interesting painting.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's just the last flap of the whole story, which is very, very scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just hell,
Mm.
where no matter how hard you try to escape these demons,
Mm-hmm.
it's too late. Like, they
Mhm.
got you already. You just
Mhm.
have to go with it now and take it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think about that, and it's like, are we really heading to that?
Mm.
It's like, or are we there already where we can't do
Mhm.
anything?
Mm-hmm.
And if there is, how do I figure it out?
Mm. Yeah, those questions are so relevant. So that's why it's so important to meet who God is and what He has, because He'll redeem you. He'll definitely redeem you. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think about that a lot. I always think about that,
Yeah.
because it's like hell, like the whole vision. You guys aren't seeing it.
Mm.
When we were growing up,
Yeah.
they always told us, what about this country?
Mm.
It's the greatest country on earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why isn't it feeling like it?
Mm.
And I don't know. Like, you have to stay true to it.
Yeah.
You can't just change it because you're in a losing team.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always conform
Mm-hmm.
to just end up feeling like you're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to sit and see it through, even if it gets ugly,
Mm.
and see the victory at the very end of it. But I
Mhm.
can't see what the victory looks like.
Mm.
So I think that's like one of the thoughts that just always processes through my mind.
Yeah. That's why trust is really important, huh?
Yeah, but how do you trust now?
Mm. I think that's really hard. It's
So you know me,
Yeah.
I always love spreading love and like trusting in people, but some people are just not meant to be trusted. So
Mm.
how do you differentiate the people that you're supposed to trust and the ones you're not supposed to?
prayer, and trusting God.
So it's more of like you don't have to figure it out. It kind of presents itself.
Like what you were saying earlier. Mm-hmm.
It presents itself. Yeah.
But it's like through prayer and through trusting Jesus, it's also really important to have a relationship with Him. That's why like maybe journaling or prayer is so important, because like it's at that point then, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus, it's kind of like, let's say you and I had a relationship. We do have a relationship as friends. And if I'm asking you to do all these things for me, right? But I'm not keeping up with your life as well, right? Like let's say you're doing my laundry, you're doing all these things that I'm asking you to do, right? But then like if I don't take you out for a lunch to owe you, or if I don't ask you how your day was, that's not a relationship. At that point, it's just a one-way relationship, but it should be a two-way.
It's a collaboration, not a competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's art. That's how it all works.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna be able, because with competition there comes ego, right? If there's a collaboration, it's more of like we're all heading for something. Yeah, we're down like different paths in some way. Yeah. But we're all heading to something. Yeah. So we have to get there together. You know?
And not saying you're not, like, definitely you will have times where you mess up too.
Yeah, for sure.
God already knows that.
Yeah.
He knows you're going to mess up. But that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's so great because even though you mess up, he still loves you. That's the craziest part.
Perfectionism.
Yeah.
Perfect doesn't exist in this world.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
But I've been thinking, and it's like perfect exists in your world. Like you think what's perfect. Maybe perfect to you, maybe perfect to him, but I may not think it's perfect. Maybe perfect to me, maybe not to you, maybe not to him. You know? But I think striving for perfection, I think that's the main goal. In your own way, you know? I think God's perfect, so it's like might as well just go towards him. He knows what's right. He knows that you're gonna mess up because we're human, you know.
And sometimes it's okay to not be perfect too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess always strive for perfection. That's it, you don't have to be perfect all the time, how you said, but always head for it. You know, keep those that positive energy.
Yeah, my band director in high school used to say, "Be 1% better every single day." Yeah, I love that.
I had a person come on here. His name is Jay Bowers, and that was his like main thing that he said over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah,
I just strive to be 1% better every single day. You know, it may not be perfect, but hey, you were very, very close to it.
Yeah.
So maybe you're perfect already. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. You're
In
perfect
his
already.
eyes,
Yeah.
yes, God sees you as his perfect child.
Yeah.
It's true.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like you're striving for something that you already are.
Yeah.
Again, you're putting a problem to something that there was never a problem to. You're trying to figure something out, but you just need to understand yourself.
Yes.
It's all. We were talking about the book, right? Or about the creativity, right? And let me see, what was it? We were talking about creativity and how we're creators, right? And how ego kills creativity. I've been really into this whole realm of creativity and it's been correlating a lot with life and not with God, right? And art, right? Art is life. Come down to that. That's for sure. You know, creativity is life. Art is life.
Yeah.
So when we're surrounded by a bunch of ego and a bunch of, we just said it right now, ego kills creativity. They're killing life.
Yeah.
And you take it into a literal sense of what's going on in like the news and like what's actually going on. It sounds like they're trying to kill us. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know? Where we're just trying to create.
You're talking about the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe not even just our government, but like, I don't know, evil forces in the world. And well, yeah, in our government, yeah, it's been very.
I think it exists. Yeah. Scary.
I don't know, because again, it's that human side of me that's telling me like, you don't believe in like monsters and demons and stuff. Come on, you've been taught to not believe in all that stuff. Like, this is how it is.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing in like a more. I'm a very visual person. I'm an artist. You know, I like seeing things, and I see it. I see demons. I really do see like the evil in the world.
Yeah, and demons don't have to be like this scary red blob that you see. Sometimes, like, I mean, I believe that there was like little demons that existed in me where I was just so angry with my life and I was so upset and depressed. It could be as small as that too.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be like this scary thing.
It's about conquering your demons.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and it only happens with being 1% better every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your connection with God.
Mm,
And I've been enjoying, I guess, growing my connection with God as well.
yeah.
You know, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I've been, and like it, how you said about writing, like all this stuff is just, it shows the growth.
Yeah, it
You know,
does. Yes.
and just learning and understanding. And that's all
Yeah.
I've been focused on.
Mm-hmm.
So when the world comes and gives you another problem,
Yeah.
he's like, that's not your problem to fix.
Yes.
It's like, just
How
keep
are you-
learning and understanding.
Yeah, like how are you gonna respond
Yeah.
to problems? Are you gonna try to figure it out by yourself, or are you gonna just give it all to God?
What about I heard this today
Uh-huh.
about letting go,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about letting go of anything, of people, of habits, of places?
Letting go is so hard. Lately, like when I think of letting go, it's letting go the hurts and the pains that like my past friendships, past relationships have brought me.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to let go of it because like I don't know, maybe I really loved this person and I don't want to see them out of my life, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You cherish them
Um,
too much to just simply let it
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you like really connect the fact that there is a reason for letting go and you understand like for your future self, eventually you'll understand why you had to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Because
and
people, it ended that same thing that I saw. It said people are too focused on letting go and moving on, but they never really want to stop and fix the problem at hand. So it was again, I'm like, you just told me that there was no problem to fix. That it was just
Mhm.
about let it go and I'll take care of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of now that I'm thinking about it again, it's like a message. It's like,
Yeah.
what about if you think about it as the opposite? What are you going to understand from it?
Mm-hmm.
So is it about letting go or is it about fixing? Maybe it's not even about fixing it with them. What do you think?
That's so weird that you're saying that because I like recently kind of went on like a little tangent with me and some people that I had like a lot of hurt with,
Mhm.
but then like instead of me being so fixated on like how I was hurt,
Mhm.
I also thought about how I hurt them too, and that helped me a lot with letting go of my hurt.
Mhm.
Was just I read it in here in this book too. It's like if somebody has hurt you, right? Let's say we give a percentage to that hurt.
Okay.
If somebody hurt you 98% more than you've hurt them, right? And let's say I hurt them that 2%, right? So obviously like the amount of hurt they gave me is far greater than how I hurt them.
Yeah.
But in order for you to fully let go of things, number one, obviously take it to God. And then number two, have a crucial conversation with them, but also take 100% of that accountability, take it to yourself, and then kind of like own that situation, if that kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
Otherwise, like if you keep focusing on how much they've hurt you, you'll never, ever, ever let go of that problem. If that kind of makes sense.
Because you keep yourself in that state of playing victim.
Yeah, I would really like to find it.
It go you see that a lot. There's a lot of people who have been hurt and they stay with that hurt.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
everyone has been told to tell them that it's okay for them to stay hurt. That
Yeah.
we feel you, stay hurt, play victim. You know?
Yeah, I'm really bad at explaining stuff, so I wish I could find this like right away. I
You
should
get
have done like little,
the little sticky note things.
yes. Wait, I think I just found it actually. Okay, maybe I did it. This conversation is so good though. Like,
Dang. I've been enjoying this conversation too.
yeah, like I'm really glad that I'm here today
Mm-hmm.
because it's making me realize stuff about myself.
And it's crazy. Wow. It's crazy that you're here.
Yeah.
Like, God hasn't been one of the subjects that I've talked to. I just had a podcast yesterday, and it wasn't really something that I talked about as much. Like the actual,
Yeah.
God, the conversation about God never happens.
Mm.
But now here I am having this conversation
Mm-hmm.
about God.
Mm.
And when you came into when you texted me, you said, can we talk about God? And I said, yes, of course. You know, how crazy is that? It's like he presented you here at this perfect moment where I've been talking to him over and over and over again. He's like, all right, maybe you should talk to somebody else about me.
I love that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I literally just learned with my boyfriend today what a conduit means. It's like a pipeline for water to flow in. Yeah, versus being a container where you're held in with so many thoughts, if that kind of makes sense. Anyways, I did find it. It said,
Water.
we are called to be peacemakers, and an important first step is knowing how to ask for forgiveness. Please understand that in any conflict you're involved in, you have a part to own. Maybe it is 90%, or your percentage might be 2%. It might be 50% or 33%. But in every conflict is a piece you can own, and you often have to work to figure out what that is. I don't care if they kicked your dog, or you used your toothbrush, or you used your toothbrush to wash the dog, or maybe they said something really mean and untrue about you. If you're a part of the conflict, you most likely have a part in the conflict. It is up to you to own 100% of whatever your part in the conflict is. Yeah. And that's
staying true to yourself. Yeah.
Yes. And that's going to help you let go with anything that maybe anyone that's watching this, it would help you.
So it's kind of like I've already put myself in your shoes too, you know, and I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But this is what's going on.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix this?
Yeah. That's exactly how I approached it too. I like called my friends and I was like, listen, this is a weird conversation, but this is how I was hurt by you. But I'm also really sorry for this because I know I hurt you as a friend as well.
I have given myself up and chosen to understand you.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that you give yourself up and understand me too. And that's how it works. That's how everything works. That's how every relationship works.
Yeah.
So you take that, like I see you guys, you know?
Yeah.
What have you been learning about love?
Love? Ooh, I'm still learning. That's a good question. I don't know. What have you been learning about love?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I wish all my friends love.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's what it really is.
Mm.
It's that amazing.
Mm.
But it'll only be that amazing if you want it to be.
Mm.
You know? Like the whole toxic relationship thing, the whole fact that that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's saddening, you know, because you guys don't even know what love is.
We've been there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been there so many times.
But we learn. We learn and we grow.
Yeah, we do.
And he always has something better in store. It's like, all right, you've learned enough here. Enjoy this a little bit. Now, I think that's one thing I'm repeating to myself is like, I've given you this. Take care of it. You take care of it, it's going to last you a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know? And you put that into every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And, oh, wow. It all connects. It all connects.
Yeah.
I think that's the main focus.
Yeah.
It's all going to connect. So
It will.
it's not that you haven't figured it out yet. It's just you haven't connected the dots.
You were saying earlier, patience. Patience is key.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will happen.
But love is the same feeling that you have with God is the same feeling you have with love. So I compare the two. You know, my relationship with God and my relationship with my girlfriend. They're both beautiful.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're both looking out for me. You know? So it's like, all right, I'll look out for you too. So whatever you need me to do, I know it might be hard sometimes, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's something as easy as spreading whatever God has to say. And here we are. We don't have to be out there in the middle of the street screaming at the top of our lungs with some posters saying, God loves you, God loves you. You know? It's about actually communicating and actually getting your message across.
Yeah.
And these type of conversations, I think, have been helping me out a lot. Writing in my book or in my journals, and I've been writing all the damn time. I write letters to my girlfriend. I write letters to myself. I write letters all the time.
I'm so blessed right now because you're literally just reminding me of everything that I've been also learning.
Yeah.
And like what you were saying, like you don't need to have a whole poster saying God loves you. Like I think what I also learned literally this past week, actually, it was talking about I think it was my pastor or podcast. It was saying like you don't have to do something extra to earn God's love or to like get him to notice you. Like if you just come as you are, he loves you just as that.
Socrates, he says, I think it was Socrates that said it, but he says that a philosopher doesn't share his philosophy with the world, right?
Did you say Socrates?
Socrates,
Socrates? Oh.
world's greatest philosopher, noted as the world's greatest
I
philosopher.
didn't know you said it like that.
Why?
I thought it was like something else. I don't know.
Socrates. But yeah, he says a philosopher does not go out and spread his philosophy onto the world, right?
Yeah.
And I get what he means by that. Like, I can't force my philosophy upon you. Like, you don't have to believe exactly what I believe.
Yeah.
But the
that's
fact
true.
that we're even exchanging these thoughts and our own philosophies in this way,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it,
Yeah.
you know? And God is one of those huge philosophies, one of those huge things to believe in, you know? So when I hear people out there in the streets and they're out here with their posters and their big megaphone screaming, God loves you, believe in God, he will come and save you. It's like, that's not the way to do it. Because you're not sharing that love that you're saying is love out of love. It's disguised, you know?
I think sometimes God will use those people to call onto people and have them start thinking stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So maybe it's not exactly to believe, but it's more as like think. It gives you a thought to
it
think
could be
about.
used like that in that situation. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Because,
I don't know. We never know how God really works sometimes, though. You know.
yeah.
It's just like crazy to see how he actually does work through people. But it's shown up in different ways.
Yeah. Maybe it's something that I just don't understand about them.
Maybe.
Yeah, but like communication, that's how Socrates learned everything.
Yeah.
Just by talking to people. And I think that's, you know, I haven't gone to school. I didn't go to college. I didn't get all straight A's and a 4.0 GPA, as you were saying from the book. But I've been learning everything just by living and communicating, talking to people who actually want to talk. You know, like I could have talked to you all that I wanted, right? You could have just gone up and left afterwards without anything being learned or understood. But the fact that you're here and you're talking to me back, it's very beneficial to me, and I hope it's beneficial to you. You know,
I think that's God working. Yeah, he's working real hard.
Yeah, he's working very
Super
hard.
hard,
Appreciate it, you know?
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed a lot with these podcasts or with every conversation that I have is that it almost feels like a mirror sometimes. So it's like I'll be saying something to you and you'll say something to me, but sometimes it's like you're saying it to yourself. Like it's coming back to you, you know? And I noticed that a couple of times here in this conversation. And I think that's what makes the conversation great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're both coming to an understanding.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a great conversation.
It was. Thank you for this.
1 hour and 24 minutes
Are you serious?
talking about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Dang. He's just that great.
Yeah, it's a lot more to learn.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank
It was,
you.
It was an amazing conversation.
It was.
I love you lots. I'm
love
glad
you
seeing you
too.
grow.
Don't make me cry again.
Let them know where they can find you.
Okay. My Instagram handle maybe.
Yeah.
That's Shay Kim. So SHAYKIMM. If you have questions about Jesus, like I'm so open to answering them, or even if you just want to make a new friend, I'm here.
Would be, before we leave,
Uh-huh.
a big piece of advice that you've been telling yourself over and over again recently that you would give to the world?
I think it was like the topic that we were kind of on.
Just
That we
believe in
didn't even
God?
know it was going to be a topic, but just if you don't have it all figured out, it's okay, because God will figure it out for you.
Perfectly said.
Mic drop.
Yeah, big mic drop. Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much for watching. If you guys happen to enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Find Shauna's Instagram page down below. If you guys want to, cop some merch. But yeah, keep things true to yourself. Keep growing, keep building, keep learning. It's going to get you far. All right. See ya.